I wanted to talk to you about what's happening in the world today because not a lot of things have changed, right? We sit down and we have these conversations. You and I talk about the state of the world. We've been talking about voting. We've been talking about politics. You have your own social and political views. And now that you guys are older and are shaping your own worlds and sitting around thinking about the world that you want to live in, tell me what it's like to see the world through your lens, because you and I had a conversation earlier on in the pandemic, and your sister as well, and you said that it was affecting your psyche because it wasn't just COVID. You said they trying to get rid of Black people.
I definitely felt a couple of months ago even. I think it's interesting too. I mean, I don't know how many people are watching today, but I'm glad that we have this moment on your platform to basically demonstrate why you're so passionate about this issue and why you talk about so like just the fact that I exist, right? Like I'm a real person, right? Like make them put a face to the name when they see why you're upset about mistreatment of African American people. It's not just because you're virtue signaling. You're directly involved in this fight, whether it directly affects you or not. You are directly involved because people you care about, people you love, are affected by it. So I'm glad that we can get that out of the way for anybody who needed that level of proof. But I just remember I recently did this thing. It's like a month and a half ago now, maybe, where I just got off of all the social medias I had. I got off of Instagram, and I already hated Twitter and used it very little, but I also got off of that. I just felt that it was getting to the point where every day I would see some kind of Black eradication, some form or shape of it, whether it be political or policy or literally police gunning someone down. And my mom knows, and I'll tell you, like, we don't always view or always have the same views. Me and my mom very rarely have the same view. We usually have similar goals, but we have different views on how to get there. And so I'm not the person who defends cops or anything like that, but I was kind of getting tired of seeing just things pinpointed. And I think I told you about this, Mom, but I was really tired of seeing like videos or clips with literally no context and people just dying. Like that was really getting frustrating to me. And not because I need somebody to defend why a cop shot a person of color or a person of color to just get shot by a police officer. Like I think police officers almost always use excessive force, but at the same time, just to be an informed human being, I would like to know the context of what the heck is going on. And I think I told you the story of I watched this video that was on Facebook, and it was like 7 minutes long about these police officers who ended up bashing this woman's head into her car, and she started bleeding from her nose or something. And I just saw the video out of context, and I was like, wow, this is just terrible. But then within the context of the video, or within the context of what actually happened, even though I believe the force was excessive and the cops still went too far, I found out that she was like literally a drunk driver who had crashed into a couple of cars with her two small children in the back. And I'm like, this kind of stuff is, I feel like, what's missing. Like just the fact that I feel like more people need all of the information. It's like I still wanted all the information, even though I knew that the cop went too far and did too much to a person of color. And I know maybe that's a controversial stand. But anyway, back to your original point, it was just seeing stuff like that was taking an emotional and psychiatric toll on me, where it just felt like every day I was seeing people who looked like me die or get erased and some go to jail forever for things they weren't doing, or you read a new story about somebody who was falsely imprisoned. And it got to the point where I was just like scared to go outside, scared to do anything, because I felt like I was just next on the list. Like eventually they're going down the list of Black folk, and at some point my name got to be called. And that's how it felt.
So anyway, that's hard for me to hear because I think you have, I know who you are, and I know that you have so much to live for, and people don't know our journey and our struggle, and sometimes people believe that you've arrived because you have the opportunities to have some things in life. They don't know the struggles and the sacrifices that came with them, and that you've never been taught in your home that you're one of the special ones. You've always been taught that we a village, and when we win, we go back and go get ours. And a lot of people, don't necessarily subscribe to that thinking. They think, I made it, why can't you? And we've made a conscious effort to inform ourselves on respectability politics and why we don't do that to our brothers and sisters.